Hello and welcome to the Cornish Witch podcast. I'm your host Freyja, a witch who lives in Cornwall but who isn't a born and bred Cornish maid. My guest in today's episode is Emma, the founder of Hedgerow Moor, an apothecary company focused on natural skincare products. Emma shares her journey of moving to Cornwall, her passion for using natural ingredients and the importance of folklore in her work. The conversation delves into the science behind her products, her spiritual journey, and the significance of self-care rituals. Emma and I also discuss her favourite herbs, the witch wound, and her future plans for expanding her product line. I hope you all enjoy. Emma, welcome to the Cornish Witch podcast.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
I'm so happy to have you on the show and I'm really excited for our episode. The first thing I would like to ask you is, what inspired you to start your apothecary and start Hedgerow Moor?
It was actually moving to Cornwall after having lived in a fairly busy city and learning to sort of shut off the noise of the world and just actually look at what was around me. It wasn't just, green trees and a few bushes. If you start to look closely, you will actually find some, amazing plants and flowers, and that's really been my inspiration.
And for those who haven't come across your website or aren't fully aware of what it is or the products that you make, can you talk a little bit about the sort of things that you do produce and you do sell?
Yes, I started making my own products, I think it must have been about 15 years ago, because I suffered from really dry skin and eczema and struggled to find anything that just moisturised my skin for starters and that didn't make my skin itch. So I did a lot of research into natural ingredients, natural plant-based ingredients, and also into the ingredients that I shouldn't be putting on my body as well, because I realised that we're doing a lot of damage to our skin and also our bodies by putting these chemicals onto our skin. So that was the first step. And then I actually wanted to back that up with science as well, because we live in an age where you can't just pop a few herbs in a bottle and sell it. You have to legally make sure that product, quite rightly, is safe for the end user. So I've got a little team mascot on four legs with us today, Baldric, which is Emma's dog, and he's absolutely gorgeous, and he's just watching all the birds and the trees outside, keeping watch and getting excited. Oh dear. Right. So yeah, I think about the science aspect of it. So I actually studied cosmetic science as well. So I have a qualification in that, and that helped me to use the natural ingredients to the best that I could, the best of my abilities, really. But I don't want to use chemicals in the products. You have to in some instances. I mean, for instance, anything that's got water in has to have a preservative. So there's nothing like a cream that can be 100% natural.
Yeah.
But saying that, I have actually moved more and more towards wanting to create something 100% natural. And I've actually got a product that's coming out in about 4 weeks once it's gone through all the testing, which is 100% made from plants and herbs.
Wow.
And it's an alternative. Some people are going to think this is just too weird, but it's an alternative to shampoo.
Okay.
So how did people 2,000 years ago have really, really lovely long hair and not have it looking like
a grease ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there are plants out there, nature has provided everything that we need. Every single thing that we need as humans is out there. And there's a type of plant that has a chemical in them called saponins, and saponins form a mild foam. So I've done some research and created a product that will cleanse and moisturise, not moisturise, but detangle and condition your hair without any chemicals at all.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I'm quite excited about it because it just feels good. It feels nice to have created something from just plants that hasn't got a single chemical in it. But yeah, I do have other products that for people who prefer the more kind of, I won't say traditional, but the more normal way of washing your hair. I do like to make them as natural as possible and include as many of the plants that have inspired me. So things from the hedgerow. I have made a toothpaste alternative, like a powder, that's got tormentil and Tormentil is found up on the moor. I can't go and source my own herbs because legally I would have to go through stringent testing. Each batch that I picked would have to go off for testing, and that's really expensive. So I have to source my herbs from, reputable natural herb suppliers.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What herbs on the moor inspire you to put into your products?
Yeah, I mean, I'm learning all the time that this is sort of a lifelong thing for me, learning about plants, because they are so amazing. They are so magical. There are so many things that they can do. So the Tormentil up on the moor, it's like a tiny little yellow flower. Rose hips on the hedges are so good for your skin, vitamin C, really amazing to take as a tea.
What I find really interesting and what I really liked when I was doing some research on your website is that you say that each product begins with a story, and that a plant was once treasured for its folklore and its healing use, and then you research and you source and you sort of blend with care with your products, which I found really interesting. How do you sort of link it with plant lore and folklore?
That side of things has been of real interest to me, more so in the last year. So when I first started, it was more about just natural products. Now I'm getting much closer to the land and the folklore aspect of it, which absolutely fascinates me. I mean, the history. I've got a little folk tale of my own, actually.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear it.
If you want to hear about that,
yes, please.
Remind me.
Yeah.
So one of the new product that I'm making is like a herbal hair wash, and in that product is a fern called maidenhair fern. Maidenhair called maidenhair because people used to use it for their hair as a tonic for the scalp, and so all of that knowledge has been lost over the years, and I'm trying to reclaim it for future people to say, actually, we don't need all these chemicals. Yes, they're cheap, but they cause so much damage to the environment.
Yeah.
And look what we've got here. We can sustainably use them responsibly, and create something that's balancing for the hair and the body, rather than it's constantly being stripped of its natural oils all the time.
Yeah.
So my kind of quest is to make products that I use myself, and that's I'm the sort of benchmark. I test everything, sometimes having to wash my hair about 10 times a week because I'm trying to get the right product. But yeah, it's got to sort of to fit my criteria, and it has to be with the best ingredients I can possibly use whilst it's still commercially viable.
Yeah.
And be as natural as possible, and be inspired by the things that are around me, and to try and share, like I say, try and think a bit further and trying to push things a bit more. What can I find out about? What can I use? And I actually, my other sort of side of me is an illustrator.
Yeah.
And an artist, and that's the sort of bit of me that I think brings a bit of life into the products, because I'm looking at it not from a scientific point of view, not from a lab, not from some guy who's never used a product putting a few chemicals together. It's actually the whole, story from the different plants that are used, how they were used historically, into how we can make something really cool for modern women, because we don't all want to just sit there and dip our hair into the lake and
I don't know,
it'd be nice.
Maybe. Depends on the lake.
If we had the time, it would be great. Yeah. So trying to kind of combine all of that knowledge to make into something that's fits the modern world, really.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. That's so lovely. What's your folklore story?
Right, well, this is all right. Up on the moor. So we've got a bit of the moor up sort of north. I think that's north or east or possibly west. I have no idea. That way, there's another moor. So I've heard this particular phenomenon twice now in these parts. So my partner is the most unspiritual person. He's very scientific minded and has to analyse everything. We walk up on the moor every day with our dog Baljack, and it was a summer's day, July, not a breeze of wind, and we heard a humming sound.
Right.
And I wonder what that is. It sounds like bees. And we were like looking for bees, nothing there. And I thought it could be a tractor machinery because it's season for harvesting and things. Nothing. And we carried on, and it just didn't get louder, actually. It didn't get louder and didn't get quieter. It was all around us, a buzzing like a swarm of bees, a big swarm of bees. And I mean, it was loud. And we looked, because on the moor there are gorse bushes dotted about. There aren't big clumps of plants. And we were trying to figure out the source of the noise. So if it was bees and you walked towards the bees, the noise would get louder. If you walked away from it, it would get quieter. But there was not that. It's very difficult to explain. But you couldn't find the source of the noise. It was just there around. So that was it. And I said to Morton, okay, right, let's have your scientific explanation for that, please. And he said, well, I haven't really got one, actually. And I got home and I was like, that's so interesting. I wonder what that was. And I looked it up, and it's actually called the hummer-druzz.
The hummer-druzz.
Hummer-druzz. Right. And it's the thing. I was like, I'm not gone crazy. It's actually something. So it's been documented since the 19th century. There's a naturalist called Gilbert White, and he has documented this hum, this sound in the land. So it's out there. And there's a couple of people I looked online actually that have heard it in Cornwall, and we've heard it since. It's in the summer. Yeah. I know people are going to say, oh, it's bees, but I've been sitting in my garden. Neighbour's got bees, and a swarm of bees has come over. Yeah. It's like the same pitch.
Yes.
But the swarm of bees, and it went away, and I could, it.
Yeah, you can tell when. Yeah, when it comes close and then it goes away, it rises and fades.
And I've been on a walk as well where I've heard bees, and I've gone to the source of the bees, looked up, and you can see the bees. So really, really fascinating, actually. And up at the moor, there are a lot of Neolithic settlements, remains of settlements. And I don't know whether there are fugus under there, the burial chambers and things there. But research has shown that this hummer-druzz does occur where there's lots of ancient monuments, which I thought was just like, wow. So I've just gone up there and just sat on the ground and put my hands down and just absorbed whatever it is, energy.
The vibration. Oh, is it a vibration? Yeah.
It is. It's and how many people could be hearing that, but they aren't lucky enough to be in an environment where it's quiet and that they've switched off all their noise that is around them. That noise could be present in other places. It's just that we don't know how to listen anymore. Yeah.
Did it make you feel a bit sort of disorientated, or did it make you feel a bit a little bit lightheaded, or
just it was nice. It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah.
And something that you knew it was something. Yeah. It wasn't just bees. It was something. I don't know.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I felt it another time near Blissland up the moor up there. And it was actually my partner who heard it that time. And it was funny because I was having a real stressful time. Yeah. And he heard it and I didn't. So maybe.
So that's confirmation relaxed. For you as well.
Yeah.
I like Blissland. It's got Trippet Stone Circle. And I love taking the dogs there, but I love standing in the middle of that stone circle as well. And sometimes, I've only seen it once, but there's a herd of red deer around there.
Wow.
And I saw them once, and I only saw them because one of my dogs was going absolutely nuts, and then they were running all back towards the forest. But no, I think Blissland's got a lot of energy.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. And that's it. The moor for me is what drew me to Cornwall. Lots of people come to Cornwall because of the coast, but for me it was the moor. It was just a magnetic place, and we've got a Neolithic I don't know, it's a fort actually just not far.
Okay.
And that's a really atmospheric place as well. And it got me thinking, what made people want to live there?
Yeah.
How did they get there? And I again did some research, and humans actually have that same kind of homing instinct, not homing instinct, but navigational instinct that birds have.
Yes.
So we've just forgotten how all of these things we've forgotten how to tap into.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's reconnecting with nature, and then reconnecting with our inner selves, with those skills that we've lost, with that intuition and that guidance. Yeah, that is amazing. I love any sort of folklore stories. I got pisky led in Carr-Gomm Woods with me and two of my friends. And I'll tell you about it after. Yeah. But yeah, I just find it I think there is something about the moor.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely something very magical. There's just so much energy around here. And I think you always end up seeing something unexpected on the moor, or you're always surprised every time that you come on here or you're driving through. I think 2 summers ago I was driving from Liskeard over to St Breward, and I thought, do you know what? I'll cut through the moor. It'd be nice. And I cut through the moor, and I was on this tiny little dirt road in my car with like, you know, the moorland by the side and like trees. And it was summer, and it was just had the windows down. It was just a lovely day. You know, when the air smells really sweet in the summer. And I just saw this fox just running. It was either chasing something, or it was playing, or it was being chased. But I just watched it as I was driving. It was like, you don't see that. I mean, if I see foxes, they're urban foxes. I used to live in London. Foxes will probably mug you in the alleyway there. But to see like one that's just in its more of a natural environment in the countryside, it was just so lovely. And it was just quite magic as well. There is just something very magical about the moorland. Yeah. Absolutely. And then, like you said, with all there's like the cairns and the ruins and the Neolithic stones and the stone circles. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that there's a hum, there's a buzz of energy. And I love that. And then, I can understand why you're so inspired as well by it, which is amazing. Do you have a certain ritual when you're creating your products?
I actually, when I'm sort of mixing whatever I'm mixing, I do actually put an intention, a good wish for the person that uses it. I always say this is made with love, and I want the person who uses it to feel more confident or about themselves or just happy. I want the products to bring people a bit of sort of joy, and that the product themselves are a little ritual for that person. So they apply the body cream and just take a bit of time to just go, I'm doing this for me, and I'm just taking care of myself. And that's a big thing for my little business, I think, is just to bring that ritual back into people's lives, women's lives, really, to just take a breath, because women have so much to do and so many things to think about, and everyone's lives are organised by women. So, women have to just take a little bit of time just to look after themselves.
Yeah. And it's remembering like our body is a temple as well. So we need to nourish that temple, take care of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's really important. And I forget that a lot of the time. I forget that, I need to take care of my temple and, look after where are the cracks, and am I giving it the right nourishment that it needs. And sometimes it's really easy to just forget about it.
It doesn't even quite come into your head, does it, in the days? And it's just, you have to almost just really remember to think about looking after yourself.
And isn't that crazy that we have to remember to look after ourselves?
I know.
Like, especially in this modern world. What would you say is your most popular product?
Well, we have a sort of a new invention that we created about 5 years ago. It's shampoo cubes. So it's not like a shampoo bar which dissolves on your head over time. These dissolve instantly. So you put a cube into your hand, a couple of drops of water, and it makes a paste which you can then massage into your head, into your hair rather than not your head,
and your scalp.
And that's been really popular. We actually had a company beforehand, but which did amazingly well, and we were on telly, and Phillip Schofield was using them, and The Guardian. But then COVID hit, so it just demolished everything. So it's kind of the phoenix rising again at this little business now, which has been really nice, and nice to be able to take it a little bit slower and really go back to the roots of what we want to do.
Do you have a favourite product?
My favourite product is going to be the new hair wash.
The new hair wash. That does sound really intriguing, but that sounds very exciting.
And my partner even uses that as well. So he likes, and it's actually, again, going back to the ritual, it's not going to be for everyone because it does take a little bit of preparation. You have to steep it in water. So it's fitting that into your routine and just saying, actually, I'm going to enjoy the few moments extra that this takes to put water in and just think about all those different herbs and flowers that have gone into this and how magical they are.
And like, rather than it being a chore, like, oh gosh, my hair is such a chore, it should be something that you look forward to, and you're like, it's that self-care, you're taking care of yourself. And so part of that ritual is something nice that you're doing for yourself in preparation to, honor your body, honor your hair, take care of yourself, which is nice that it's kind of bringing your product is kind of reminding people to go, this isn't a chore. This is actually for you to take care of yourself and take some time out, which is really, really lovely. So what has your spiritual journey been like, or how did your spiritual journey start?
Nobody in my family when I was growing up was spiritual or religious at all, really. It wasn't until my kind of early 20s, my sister, who's 8 years older than me, was very into tarot and astrology and just spirituality generally. So that kind of led me onto the path initially. And I used to work for the National Trust and other historic houses, and I lived in the houses.
Oh, great.
And there was some quite interesting, supernatural, if you want to call them that, things that happened. So it kind of got me questioning everything. And I bought a book called The English Book of Magic, which was brilliant. I absolutely love that book. It just documents the magic use in England through the ages, Druids to modern day. But weirdly enough, I've never kind of thought of myself as a witch. I've never got like a routine that I do. Everything's more about intuition and what feels right to me. Yeah. So for instance, the other week I went to stay in a hotel and I got into this hotel room and I thought, oh, this is not good. There's a horrible something energy here that I had to kind of just get rid of. Yeah. I don't have any tool. I don't sort of have tools that I use. I went into each corner of the room and clapped to get and removed any sort of negative energy out of the room. And that really helped. And I slept really well, but I couldn't have slept in that room if I hadn't have done something.
But that is a process. That is what's the word I'm looking for? That is something that you can do to remove negative energy. It's clap.
Yeah, make a noise
or make a noise, ring a bell.
If you had like a smudging stick, you do that. But so I don't class myself as a witch, and I don't know why that is. I've never really thought of it before. Intuition is really important and always has been since my early 20s. And then I kind of have started to question more things and question and try and remove myself from the sort of mainstream narrative of what we're being shown, because to me that's not reality. Reality is nature and the things that will are constantly there. Whatever happens on the TV, nature is constantly there. So that's been a real massive thing for me, nature and kind of moving here, and having been given what I call nature gifts, which might sound peculiar, but walked down this little lane here, and I was walking down the road just before we set up the business, and a horseshoe fell out of the wall in front of me. Wow. So I picked that up, put that in my little tin, and then this all happened really sort of close together, and it kind of gave me that reassurance that I was doing the right thing. Yeah. I found 4-leaf clover, which I've never had 4-leaf clover. It was just like
incredible.
Sat there, massive. I was like, cool, I'll have that. And a tiny little stone in the river, because there's a really lovely stretch of river down here. And I was just paddling in there and put my hands down and picked out this little stone, and it had a perfect tiny, tiny hole in it.
A hagstone?
A hagstone, yeah. Tiny. And I just literally picked it out. Didn't see it, but just put my hands out, picked it up, and it was this little stone, which is, I'm going to make it into a little necklace. And that's another one of these sorts of totems, I suppose.
Did these happen close together?
Yes. Yeah.
So you've got 3 items. Yeah. Did it happen on 3 separate occasions?
Yes, 3 separate occasions, but sort of in a matter of a week or 2.
Wow. So you've got the power of 3 there as well, and those synchronicities. Yeah. Which I absolutely love.
3, I love 3. I'm born on the 3rd of the 3rd as well.
Wow, that's another synchronicity. That's incredible. I absolutely love that. And it's just like a confirmation. It's like the moor's reaching out there, like you're here, like
so you're on the right path. I think everybody needs that, don't they? And because it's gets increasingly difficult to make a living or just to, find a job that's not soul destroying.
It doesn't like eat your soul away.
So having this sort of connection with nature has been really a blessing for me. So, and I also sometimes I ask for little signs, like nature signs, and I've seen some really cool things down by the river, like a heron will come and I can't remember what the other bird was. It's massive sort of, it's a seabird, so I'm not sure what it was doing around here, but that was so cool.
Yeah.
Crows just hopping in front of me on the path. I know crows are messengers and
crows
signs.
will bring you gifts, aren't they? Did you know that?
They were gifts, no, but I thought they were.
Crows. So if you, it's been well documented. But if you befriend crows by either looking after them, if in the garden, leaving things out for them, they will then start to befriend you, and they will bring you gifts. They will bring you things like little jewels or little toys or just little stones, and they will leave them for you. And yeah, it's been documented so many times. I would love to make friends with some crows.
I would love to have a pet crow. That's one of my goals in life.
Yeah, or like a raven.
Yeah.
But what I love about crows is because you've got jackdaws, you've got crows, and then you've got ravens as well, and they're all part of that family, but they can all be so different. So like jackdaws are really social and really cheeky.
Yeah. And
then you got crows and ravens. I think crows are sometimes you see them in pairs. And then ravens can be quite solitary, but it's their personalities are all just so interesting. Yeah, but no, crows. I don't know if jackdaws and ravens are the same, but they can mimic as well. Like ravens can mimic, and so people, it makes sense when people talk about ghost stories, or if they're out on the moor or out in the woods, and they'll go, "I heard someone call my name," or "I heard someone laughing," and now I think could have probably been a raven. Because it's incredible. But crows, amazing. Make friends with the crows, and they'll bring you gifts. So I know that you said that you don't use tools when you were talking about clapping in the hotel room. But I was just thinking about,
that's actually not quite true. I do.
Yeah.
I think what I'm trying to say is I look at other people on Instagram and think, perhaps I should be doing that. And I see people who have sort of seems to be quite not a strict regimen of what they do, but I don't at all. And I think that doesn't make me a witch because I'm not doing it a certain way. I tap into it as and when I need to. I think I would like to have more structure in how I, what I do, and things like, intent and think about what I'm trying to do more, and try and put a positive purpose into it.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, we're so busy and life gets in the way and you just kind of forget, what I do. So I think that's an important thing for me to try and remember that I have this, every woman has this power.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. She had the red shoes on. She had them on the whole time.
Yeah.
She just didn't know how to use them.
Yeah.
And for me, that's what it's about. It's about learning how, as a woman, and every woman has this inside of them, how can we reclaim it, and how can we get the best out of our lives, because we all have that in us.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you can feel a bit like, well, I know that I can sometimes feel like I'm not a very good witch, or I'm not like, a true witch, because my altar, if so I have an altar, not all witches do, which is absolutely fine. But, my altar would just be covered in ash and dust, and I haven't done anything seasonal, or I haven't done anything like, I haven't done like any offerings for the wheel of the year, depending on when it's turned. Or I haven't like cleansed my crystals. I missed the last full moon. I just do it on the next full moon. And it's like, there's no rules or regulations. It's, for me, witchcraft, it's very, very, very individual. And it is about, like you said, intention and what works for you and getting back to nature. So I don't think there's any sort of thing about being you're not a true witch, or you're not like, you're a bit of a lazy witch. Baldrick is up like a meerkat.
That's his, he's doing what we call an up. Come on, boy. Yeah, he wants something, obviously, so come on, boy.
He looks like a meerkat, bless him. I just don't, I feel like it's very, very individual. And but we were talking earlier before we started recording about the witch wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reading the book and I've forgotten, unfortunately, had the author's name. But yeah, it really kind of hit home with me, because everything that she said that women feel in modern times, like you feel like you haven't got a voice, you feel like you can't put yourself out there, you feel like you wouldn't want to say you're a witch if you were a witch, because you've got this deep rooted fear, because women were literally burnt for it.
Yeah.
To say, I say that to my partner all the time. I said, I would have been burnt at the stake.
Oh yeah, so would I.
For
Yeah.
mixing these potions for my neighbours, or helping someone with a cough or a cold,
Or helping someone give birth.
Oh God, yeah.
Being a midwife.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The horrors are, and the book starts actually with going through some of the horrors that happened, and she says if any of it kind of hits home for you, or you feel emotional, or you cry, that's really significant. And there was a part of it, and I can't remember which part of it was, but I just could feel this real sadness.
Yeah.
So it's kind of whether people believe that's in that or not, that we have this witch wound, it's a really good tool to kind of work on the things that are holding us back from achieving what we want to achieve, or doing what we want to do in life, because we're all the same. We all have this in us. It's just our own sort of minds that are stopping us from doing it, and it's unlocking these things within us all. And everybody's different, and everybody is drawn to something different. For me, it's herbs and nature and animals. For others, it's tarot and astrology, and which is, I think, was really fascinating. But it just doesn't click with me as much.
But that's absolutely fine. And I think that's the beauty of it. It's what makes you tick, and it's what you feel that affinity towards and that connection to. Yeah,
and that's really exciting and really interesting.
It is really exciting.
People have got that different draw. That's really, really, really fascinating. That people just, and it's that when we were talking earlier about being on your spiritual path, it's, you get taken down that path by being excited about something. So you think, oh, I'm really excited. Like, I really like John Dee and anything to do with Elizabeth first, John Dee, the angels and things.
Yeah.
The last lady you spoke to on the podcast was
Tatiana.
Book.
Yeah.
I have to read that. So and that's what draws you down the path, is you feel this excitement and this kind of burning to learn more. And that's really what's happened to me with the herbs and the plant side of things.
Yeah. Do you use an almanac at all? Or do you follow the wheel of the year?
It's something that I want to do. And like I say, trying to have a business and trying to do social media and trying to do all of these things takes a lot away from how I actually want to live my life. It's a nuisance having to make money.
Isn't it? Totally agree with you.
It really is. But I know I do like being on social media, because it does open up, especially if you're someone like me who's a sort of closet witch, if you like, and that has never done anything or talked even about witchcraft to anybody else other than my sister. It's nice, but I forgot what I was just saying.
That's okay. I was so engrossed in what you were saying as well. I also said the almanac. I think
the almanac,
yeah.
So everything gets in the way, and I think I would love to have that life where I know what phase the moon is in right now, and I start the day by doing this. And I suppose that does come with, having to be a little bit more strict with yourself in a way, and just incorporating some habits, getting into habits, positive habits, that I can bring more of this into my life, because I know that if I did, my life would be easier. Yeah. And I think things would flow better. So it's kind of battling against the demands of the modern world, and to try and, incorporate some of this magic into my life, so that my life becomes easier and pans out how I want it to. Yeah.
But it sounds like you're already doing that, Emma, with Hedgerow and Moor, and sometimes you just have to give the rest of it time. It doesn't happen overnight, does it? And I think also the world that we live in today, we just want everything yesterday, don't we? And sometimes it's being present and connecting with yourself and going, I'm doing my best right now, and it will come in time. And just to be kind to yourself and give yourself the praise.
Yes,
absolutely. Of what you've been doing. So far.
And just sort of trying to do a little bit at a time.
Exactly.
So if I can incorporate one little thing, and for me, it's learning. I don't know what I'm doing in terms of witchcraft. Absolutely not got a clue.
Who does though? Sometimes
I'd like to learn. So that's a part of it. I mean, there's an Edinburgh witch I follow on Instagram. I think she's great. Really, really. And I think there's lots of different people, and it's who resonates with you, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's who you think, some I see and I just think, well, that's not for me. Or there's others that. But again, it's your gut feeling, isn't it? And that will guide you. And
it's going back to your intuition. Yeah, with your gut feeling. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any herbs that you would always sort of recommend to people? Especially for perhaps like skin issues. So I know, like you mentioned, you have dry skin. I have skin issues. I have acne that can cause like really nasty flare-ups. And yeah, I was just wondering, is there anything that any sort of herbal natural recommendations that you always sort of suggest, or is this sort of a real staple for you?
I mean, it's a real comprehensive approach, really. I mean, for women, I think understanding that we are complex creatures and balance is the key.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's something I've learned as I've got older, that if your body isn't balanced, nothing will work properly, nothing will look right, nothing will feel right. So there isn't particularly one thing that I would do, but going back to that taking care of yourself to kind of get your body in balance. Hormones mainly is the thing. Gosh, there's lots of different things. It depends on the person. For me, for my dry skin, it was a case of figuring out what I was doing initially that made my condition worse. Yeah. And then finding herbs that would help me. So for instance, on my scalp, chickweed is a good one. But again, nettles are my absolute favourite. They are a powerhouse. They are so good. I use it in my shampoo. Going to be using that in this hair wash. They're balancing. I mean, I pick nettles in the spring, make nettle cordial, nettle tea. It's got vitamin K in it. So many vitamins and minerals in it. Nettle soup. Wow. The stems you can use for make a compost, a nitrogen compost. And I've even made paper out of nettles before.
Wow.
Yeah, so they are, and they actually, nettles, if you've got arthritis, there's quite a lot of modern studies, actually scientific studies, that show if you sting yourself, it can help. And I've done that myself. I get if I'm drawing or illustrating for a long time and my arm goes absolutely painful, then I go out and sting myself a few times. So that's another thing. Nettles are, I mean, we all did. I used to just get rid of them all and, mow them down. But now they're like a precious thing in my garden. And in late summer, they provide a habitat for, I can't remember which caterpillar it is, but there's lots of little black caterpillars that all live in there. And so they're just, again, it's going back to that, look at what is out there. Don't just treat things like they're an inconvenience. Yeah. Everything out there has its little place in the world. And it's, eye-opening when you start to see that.
There's a lovely little saying when it goes something like, and it's not a direct quote because I'm probably going to get it wrong, but what is the difference between a flower and a weed? And the difference is judgment.
Ah, yes. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It really is.
So true.
It's your perspective on, I mean, like now my garden is wild and I don't care if it looks unsightly because that's not what it's about. It's about creating a little environment for nature. And of course, I'm don't want everything to be overgrown so that it becomes a nuisance. It's got to be balanced and you've got to maintain that balance. But I'm not bothered if my grass hasn't been mown for a while. Because again, that's all sort of been, why do people have that? Why do people think that they have to mow their lawn all the time and cut down all these things? It's for appearances. And it's not really that important.
No. And also the seasons and the weather will do that for you, as well. Yeah. At certain times of the year. Yeah. What sort of books would you recommend? Because you were talking earlier about Culpeper.
Culpeper, So that's a kind of sort of one of the old herbals, they were called, where Culpeper actually assigned a planet to each plant. So if it was ruled by marshmallow root, so I've actually put this on some of my packaging actually. Yeah. So I use marshmallow root, again, another one of my favourite herbs. It's incredible for the hair. It coats the hair. It creates what's called a mucilage, which is when it's mixed with water, it creates almost like a gel. So that's how original marshmallows were. They weren't this sort of
sweet, gelatiny like,
softer. And marshmallow root, really good for if you've got sore throat or a cough, for lining the mucous membranes in the chest and the throat.
So I was given a marshmallow root tablet about a month ago because I had a really poorly tummy. Yeah. And my friend said, have this marshmallow root. It's amazing for the lining of your intestines and for any inflammation. And I had it, and within like 45 minutes to an hour, my tummy didn't feel sore anymore.
Amazing. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It is one of my favourite herbs. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I've forgotten again.
Sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent now. I was like, marshmallow root's so cool.
Yeah, it is. I've forgotten. Oh no, that was it. They're going back to Culpeper, assigning a planet. So marshmallow root assigned to Venus because it's soft and it's sort of restorative, and whereas nettle, I think, is Mercury, which is a bit fiery, and so that was really interesting. But that's, I mean, questionable advice in the Culpeper books, but some of it's just really fascinating. So it's kind of having a broad range of historical and modern texts. I just bought a new one by Robin Harford, and that's about foraging. So his guide is really good, the guide to foraging and eating foods. And I started actually foraging mushrooms and things to eat. So I've got a lot of just kind of books from the 1970s about how to use herbs in the home. You can use herbs for cleaning, making a simple cleaning spray out of lemon peel and things like that. Just sort of housekeeping books. Because a lot of the old ones used to, use herbs, and lavender and for moths, keeping moths away, peppermint for keeping spiders out. And it was actually, thinking back, it was actually an old receipt book from the 18th century that got me interested in making my own products.
Oh, wow.
Because women used to keep these books, these manuals that they would record everything in, from making a posset to, if someone was ill, to a green ointment, and there's all sorts of amazing things in there. And that thinking back now, that's actually what got me started. And I'm making things from beeswax and lavender and things, and then it kind of progressed to the more cosmetic stuff.
So what are your future plans, and have you got any events sort of coming up or products for Hedgerow Moor? I know you've mentioned the shampoo or the hair cleansing shampoo, but what else have you got planned for the future?
Just to kind of keep I don't know, true to my roots of the business, and sort of to reclaim some of that lost knowledge, I suppose, and to create some really high performing products, but that do honour those older ways that aren't full of chemicals. So the products that are 100% natural and made from plants and herbs are really where I want to focus on. And more skincare products, like because again, I've got really dry skin, so a face oil. I enjoy researching like the different ingredients and I do create for other skin types, so normal and oily. Just creating a bigger range really, and enjoying it as I go.
Do you go to any fairs or anything like that where you have like a stall and where you can showcase and sell some products?
For a while actually, but I probably would like to. I mean, I'm across the road is a really nice farm shop called Charlie's Farm Shop, and I'll be there on the 14th of December. They're having a little craft fair. They're having another one on the 7th of December as well.
Lovely.
So that's a new business, a local business. It's a lovely farm shop.
And if people, how do people find you? So with like your socials, website, how do they contact you?
So the website is www.hedgerowandmore.co.uk, and my Instagram is hedgerowandmore.co.
Amazing. Emma, thank you so much.
I've
had such a lovely time chatting with you. And thank you for the beautiful coffee as well. So just for listeners out there, I'm sat in Emma's beautiful living room on the Bodmin Moor, and we've had a really lovely root coffee, which was dandelion and burdock.
Dandelion, burdock and chicory.
So nice. So lovely. And a fresh batch of cookies straight out the oven. So I've been absolutely spoiled.
Oh, you're very welcome.
But thank you so much. It's been so lovely. I really look forward to seeing where Hedgerow Moor goes. I will put it all in the show notes for people to go and have a look, especially with Christmas coming up. It's going to be a perfect opportunity as well for Christmas gifts. And I hope to have you back on the show soon.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been lovely. I hope you liked my interview with Emma. I really loved spending the afternoon with her in her beautiful witchy cottage on the Bodmin Moor. Her dog is adorable, and also I think Baldric is probably the best name I have ever heard for a dog, especially if you're a Blackadder fan like I am. I've linked her website, Instagram, and book recommendations in the show notes. While I was at Emma's, she very kindly gifted me a few of her products, which were the shampoo and conditioner cubes and some nourishing moisturiser. And I must say that not only do her products smell delicious, not for consumption, but they work brilliantly. For those of you who have seen me on my Instagram page, I have very long curly hair, and the shampoo and conditioner cubes made my hair so shiny and soft, and it smelt amazing. You might have noticed that I have mentioned that I have skin issues, so I have very sensitive and reactive skin. I have acne and I get horrible flare ups. Now, I know that everybody is different, and when testing new products, especially for your skin, you should do a 24 to 48-hour patch test, which is what I did. But I haven't experienced any irritation or itching with Emma's products. I haven't used the moisturiser on my face because I am currently on some medicated products for my acne at the moment, but I am using the moisturiser on my hands. This time of year, my hands do get very dry and sore. I have had no issues with any irritation, stinging, or burning. And again, it smells beautiful. I know I probably sound like a bit of an advert, but I wouldn't recommend products that I didn't believe in, and Emma did kindly gift them to me. And Hedgerow and Moor's products are beautiful. A lot of love, research, science, good intentions, and a little bit of magic has definitely gone into them. And they are also great stocking fillers for this time of year. So if you're interested, please head over to Emma's Instagram or the Hedgerow and Moor website to have a look at her products. Okay, so now we're to our regular segment of the show, which is the Witch Weekly events. And we will be starting off with our local coven and sister circles. So Rosenbooker is one of Cornwall's longest established covens, and they hold meetings in North Cornwall and the Devon-Cornwall border. Applicants are welcome to introduce themselves via email and can also visit their website for more information. Serendipity Healing holds 3 women's circles in South Devon. This is Tuesday in Abbot Scarswell, Wednesday in Torquay, and Thursday in Totnes. All 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Participants can choose the date and the venue that suits them. Please contact Seren via her email for further details. And I have linked Seren's email along with Rosenbooker's email and website information in the show notes. Looking to the week ahead for Cornwall and South Devon Witchy events, and our regulars are back. So we have the Cunning Grove. They are based in Plymouth, and on Saturday mornings they hold their Witch, Bitch and Brew from 11 a.m. until the last witch leaves. The lovely Cabinet of Folklore and Magic down in Falmouth are holding their weekly tarot readings on Saturday mornings. This Saturday, the 6th of December, from 4:15 p.m. until 5:30 p.m, festive folk tales are being held at Pete's Games in Launceston, and this is £10 for general admission. Local storyteller Lawrence Patrick McNeela will be sharing some of the darker and lesser-known traditions of Yuletide in England. So join in on Saturday as winter darkness pulls throughout the ancient town, and Lawrence spins stories with ancient traditions and tales, some of them sparkling and bright, and some of them altogether darker and more arcane. This event is suitable for over 12s. Some of the ghost stories might be a little frightening for younger children. Also, Emily from Black Cat Books will be there with a selection of accompanying books that will be for sale during and after the session. Megan Field's Sacred Kerno Circle in Liskeard is holding a few Yuletide-themed events. So the first one is this weekend on the 7th of December. It's a Yule-themed craft and cackle afternoon. Then on the 11th of December, she has a Yule-themed wassail and witch choir going on, where you can sing solstice and Yule songs. And then finally, on the 18th of December, she's holding a mugwort tea ceremony and exploration of dreaming into the winter solstice. Next Wednesday, the 10th of December, Witch Choir at Lanstefan Arts is holding their last witch choir of the year. That will also involve Yuletide carols, pagan folk songs, and some wassailing as well. Tickets for this are £15. And last but not least, Hedge and Wild are holding a women's Yule Day retreat at Sowerton Village Hall on the 21st of December, 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. Tickets for this are £70. I will be doing a shout out for this event over the next couple of episodes as well. And this will be a day of celebration of the solstice, ourselves, our divine pathway, and the beauty of sisterhood. So join in for a festive gathering of sisters upon the magical land of Dartmoor as you journey through the portal of the winter solstice. Throughout this day of midwinter, you shall connect with cacao and solstice plants and animal wisdom, craft crystal amulets to adorn your trees and homes, journey with the heartbeat of the drum, listen to candlelit Yule stories, and wander the labyrinth at dusk by lantern, clearing the path of what was to welcome in the new, and closing the day with the ceremonial burning of the Yule log and a warming glass of mulled berry punch, and a mince pie or two. All of these events sound absolutely wonderful, and I have linked all of the website details for the events that I've mentioned in the show notes. If you have a witchy or a spiritual event coming up over December and the Yuletide season, and if you would like me to give that event a shout out on the show, if it's in South Devon or Cornwall, then please contact me. All of my contact details are in the show notes. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Cornish Witch Podcast. I will be back next week with another episode. And until then, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again.